Hi, I'm Stephanie Sackerman. I'm a mom, I'm an educator, I'm a certified wellness coach, and I'm also a certified teacher of mindfulness. And when I graduated the IAWP, I founded LiveLoveBeWell Wellness Coaching. And I specialize in supporting moms to have a healthy mindset, to love themselves, to care for themselves, and to be present. And I do that through the lens of mindfulness. What I'm going to talk with you about today is something that is relatable for everyone, whether you're a mom or not, and that is your self-talk. So our self-talk is always on. It's that voice that we hear in our head. And the National Science Foundation did a study a number of years ago, and they concluded that on average, we have 60,000 thoughts per day. It's a lot of thoughts, right? Probably ones we're not even aware that we're having. 95% of those thoughts were thoughts that we have day in and day out. So every single day we're having these same thoughts come up for us. And of those, 80% are negative. So if you do the math quickly, that's about 45,000 negative thoughts, negative messages that we're sending ourselves every day. So a lot of times our self-talk can feel really like an inner critic, okay? But here's the good news. There's a concept called neuroplasticity, and scientists and researchers have discovered that through this, we're actually able to retrain our brains to be more positive. And that's really, really powerful. So I'm inviting you to open your awareness to your self-talk so that we can shift it from perhaps that critical, negative, default self-talk to a much more positive one. So the very first thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is to actually become aware of your thoughts. And it sounds like, oh, that should be easy. It's actually pretty tricky. What I'd like for you to do is take a few days, and over the course of these days, to really, really pay attention to the thoughts that you're having. And I'm just going to let you know that as you're going through your day, you may notice that some of the thoughts, maybe they feel like a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe you notice that it's a little bit negative. But I want for you to respond to these thoughts in a non-judgmental way. Okay, so through the practice of mindfulness, we become aware of our thoughts, and we just think to ourselves, oh, I'm noticing I'm having this thought. Okay, we're not being critical, we're not being harsh to ourselves, we're just noticing, okay, I'm thinking this thought. Okay, so what you're going to go ahead and do is every day, at some point throughout the day, whether it's in the morning, it's at night, some other chance that you have to pause throughout the day, I'd like for you to write down 5 of those thoughts that you're noticing, okay? And then after a few days of this, take a look at those thoughts that you're having. Are they positive? Are they more towards the negative? Do you see the same thoughts that are recurring? Are the same things coming up for you? And what I'd like for you to do is this. Respond to yourself with self-compassion. Because doing this helps to boost your inner nurturer, right? We all have that inner critic, but we also have an inner nurturer. So self-compassion is defined by Dr. Kristen Neff, who's the leading researcher in this field, as when you offer yourself the same kindness that you would offer to a friend or a loved one when they mess up, or they're struggling, or they fail. Okay? So let's say that there's a thought that's coming up on your list. Maybe it's, I'm a mess up, I messed up again, okay? When you're in the moment, you could really feel like a mess up, right? And that's because when we have these thoughts, they feel so real that we tend to identify with them. But now that you've made this list, you've sort of created a little bit of space for yourself. And now you can look at this list and you can say, oh, I was thinking I was a mess up, okay? So the first part there is that you're giving yourself a little bit of distance and you're noticing, no, you're not a mess up. It was just a thought you were having, okay? And then the second thing you can do is respond to yourself in a compassionate way. So you can say to yourself, I messed up, I made a mistake, but I'm human, and all humans make mistakes sometimes. So may I be patient with myself, and may I be kind to myself in this moment, okay? So the next piece is, after you've done all of that, is I encourage you to make an affirmation for yourself. So an affirmation is one of those positive statements, okay? And it needs to be something that really, really resonates with you. So if I love myself doesn't feel comfortable, it feels really inauthentic, then don't do it. I want for you to come up with your own affirmation. Maybe it's, I'm trying my best. Or maybe it's, I have the courage to try. Or maybe it's, I am enough. You know, whatever feels right for you, I encourage you to come up with one of these affirmations. And here's what's really, really cool. Science has shown us the power of affirmations. And whether you believe it or not, your subconscious doesn't know that. Okay? It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imaginary. But when you say this phrase over and over and over again, what you're doing is creating that positive self-talk as more of your default self-talk, okay? So every time you say this positive phrase, you're strengthening that particular neural pathway. And so if you do this enough, you can shift from a negative self-talk as your default to a more positive self-talk as your default. And that is really, really cool. Another thing that you can do to help boost your self-talk is actually to surround yourself with people who support you and who lift you up and who encourage you. Because when you are interacting with people who do that, when you have that really good, really positive, really healthy interactions, your body is producing those feel-good hormones, okay? So let's just recap. The first thing is you're going to open your awareness to your self-talk, okay? You're going to pay attention over the course of a few days, writing down about 5 of your thoughts that you're noticing. And after you've noticed them, then you're going to go ahead and you're really going to look at them. Are they more positive? Are they more negative? Do the same thoughts keep coming up for you? And once you've done that, you're going to respond to yourself with self-compassion, right? There's no need for judgment. You're going to go ahead and respond to yourself in a loving and kind way, okay? And then you're going to take it one step further. You're going to create an affirmation that feels really, really good for you. And I want for you to write it on 5, 10 Post-its, however many you want to. And I want you to put those Post-its everywhere. Put it by your mirror in the bathroom. Put it on your kitchen sink. Put it on your steering wheel. Put it on your laptop at work. Okay? And every time you see it, I want for you to say it to yourself because I want that neural pathway to get really, really strong, and I want for that to become your default self-talk. Okay? And then you're going to take it even further, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to surround yourself with people who love you, people who care about you, people who build you up. All right? I am so excited for you to start your journey, and I can't wait to see how it turns out for you. So until we meet again, live, love, and be well. Thank you so much for being with me today.